Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub. Phil's, your local dive with music for the people. Chasers Food and Spirits. Excel Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Cheers, everyone. So much to celebrate this weekend. The 4th of July, this Saturday, marks the 250th anniversary of the United States Declaration of Independence. So let's start this holiday early as we celebrate America with an episode that features entertainer, author, and professional public speaker Steve Kissell from Virginia Beach, who was recently in Sioux Falls recording a few podcasts with Big D Entertainment. Then we catch up with actor, singer, drag entertainer Devin Basart. So come on in, join us. Once again, we are waiving the cover charge here at the Dipsy Doodle Productions studio. 3 words not spoken in the studio: black tie formal. Come as you are, but it is BYOB. Per usual, I am sipping a Jasper Newton, the drink name I choose for a Jack Daniels Diet Coke with a lime. But first...
Honey, look at this!
Unbelievable!
Yeah! Yummy!
I know!
That'd be fantastic. You know what I'm talking about.
Dave's Fave!
Each week we salute a person or business I feel is worthy of a shout-out for any number of reasons. This week's Dave's Fave is Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra. They received the Best Instrumental or Choral Music Event or Series at last week's Sioux Falls Stage Awards for their Evolution of Swing in America concert. Now, I have the privilege of being their MC at their full orchestra concerts. I also was able to accept their award, as the great majority of them were, guess what, playing gigs that night. So exciting for the Fellowship Jazz Center and FJCO. Want to know what my other faves are? Go to Dave's Fave page on the show website, davehollyhour.com. And then after you look at that page, go to the trivia page to see our schedule at Chasers, West 12th and Ellis Road. Stop in for great food, great beverages, and fun times. Monday nights at 7, we play Dave Holly Hour Trivia with 7 fun rounds and great prizes. This coming Monday, July 6th, our theme will be Still Celebrating Summer. Plus, it will be our 3rd week of Remainder of the Year tournament. Chasers, your neighborhood gathering place. Honorable mention. What made Dave laugh, chuckle, chortle, downright slap my knee silly, or maybe simply fill my heart with happiness? This past Saturday, such a pleasure taking in the Victor Cahill Sextet at Trio Jazz Club. So often I am simply just blown away by the intricacy and the improvisation of jazz. To make it even sweeter this last time, the group that Victor assembled had not played together prior. Hey, speaking of trio, here's what's playing this coming week. Tonight, the Jeff Sukup Quartet brings an evening of outstanding jazz led by Jeff on trumpet. Friday, kick off 4th of July weekend with vocalist Andrea Ross celebrating America's musical traditions alongside an all-star band. Then Tuesday, Jeremy Haig returns to Trio's House Baby Grand with an intimate night of piano and vocals. On Wednesday, don't miss the James Torres Latin Jazz Group, bringing a vibrant rhythms and unforgettable energy to the Trio stage. So grab your tickets at thetriojazzclub.com, find your seat, and experience it live. Hey, later in the show, entertainer Devin Basart. In just a few minutes, from Virginia Beach, entertainer and professional public speaker Steve Kissell on the Dave Holly Hour.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at Excel Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation. 605-332-9235 or exokairos.com. Excellent care for excellent people. Exo Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Walking through the entryway of Phil's Pub, you can't help but notice the show pics and posters from the heyday of live bands in Sioux Falls. Phil's is back. They're on their way to reestablishing their iconic live music venue status. Come on into Phil's for a great local brew. You might just find yourself seeing some of the performers in those pictures, and a very good chance you'll see new acts that will end up being in pictures too. Phil's Pub, your local dive, with music for the people. Follow them on Facebook and other socials. Keep up to date with who's playing at the pub each week here on the Dave Holly Hour.
Follow the Dave Holly Hour on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, you know what I love to say at the beginning of every conversation. It's always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment. Oh, need to maybe make a little side note on it this time. Part of the Sioux Empire now is located on the East Coast in terms of Norfolk, Virginia, Virginia Beach, and then he's also got a place in North Carolina. Steve Kissell is an entertainer, a family entertainer. He does a variety of things, and he just happens to be in my studio because we've been friends for about 25 years, and he is making sure that he's starting a podcast, and he wanted to do it right. So he decided to come up here and join us for a weekend, and we're going to be doing that and getting that all taken care of. And he's also a public speaker. In fact, he's done that on a national basis for a number of years. He is at least, kind of slowing down and getting a little more choosy as to who he does things for. But he's here and always looking forward to seeing him. And so, Steve Kissell, welcome to the Dipsy Doodle Productions studio.
Well, thank you, Dave. I feel famous because in my travels, I listen to you so much. I listen to all the awesome folks you interview. Over 300 podcasts. Incredible.
Right.
And several hundred guests you've had.
Yeah. Over individual guest number, I think you're going to be about 452 or 453.
My goodness. My goodness. Well, I am honored, sir. I'm honored.
Well, I am too, because, I have you here because I just wanted to chat with you regardless, but because you're always a great person to be interviewing. But you have so much to do with where I am now. And I greatly appreciate that, because the first time we ever met, back in my clown days, you were hosting, I believe it was called Comedy Magic Workshop.
That's correct.
Out in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I just had a blast.
And you showed up.
Yeah.
And I couldn't shake you after that.
That's true. But back then, that's also when I was, a bit large. And then we'll talk a little bit about something that now, why I'm not so large, what spurred me into action. But I loved the fact that, because before I registered for that, you had an assistant back then, and I gave her a call and asked, I said, well, is this just specifically for magicians and so forth? And she said, well, not necessarily. What do you do? And I told her I was a clown. And she says, but you like to do little tricks and so forth when you're walking around? I said, yeah. She says, this would be very good for you. And it was money well spent. And then the next time I see you, you had changed then to family entertainers workshops.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was up in the Twin Cities. And I recall walking in, and I can't remember who the celebrity was, but the glasses that I had at that time and my size and wearing a cap and so forth, you mentioned the guy's name. It was a political figure that was opposite of what you believe. And you said to Dave Risley, who was there, Riz, look, it's... and I've forgotten that guy's name, but I remember that moment. But what really started me getting more intense with entertaining and everything else that came along with it was at the end of that convention, I came up to you and you said something about, well, what do you want? And I said, I want to be you.
That's a dangerous thing.
Yes,
right
it is. I liked the whole putting a convention together thing. I liked the fact that there were so many things to take in. Plus, then you said, well, you know what you could do for me, though? You could be the host of these conventions whenever I'm around in the area. And you would put me in there and I'd, transition between the different lectures, MC, and then usually if there was a talent show at the end of it, I would be the MC for that.
And people moving.
Yeah.
And just be you.
Exactly. And that's a piece of advice I got from a radio broadcaster out in Denver one time when I was brand new to radio, my first job out of college and full-time. And the guy could tell I was a cub in radio. And he says, I have 2 pieces of advice for you. And I said, okay. He said, don't ever be afraid to ask a stupid question because it may get you a great piece of audio. He says, do that even when you know it's a stupid question.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I said, okay, what's the second? He says, well, don't try to be me. Don't try to be Ted Koppel, Larry King, names off all these. Just be you. And I've taken that to heart because the style of, I always call these, I don't even call them interviews. I call this a conversation.
That's right.
Yeah. And so I always try to let people know I'm not going to ask you, what were you doing the night of April 10th, 1992? I'm never going to ask anything like that. And then a fellow broadcaster in town told me one time, he said, because we also had a mutual friend that was a hard-hitting, boom, 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 political talk show type. He says, you're no different than him. I said, what? And he says, you both get out of your guests what you want. It's just that when they're finished with you, they want to hug you. When they're finished with him, they want to punch him. So I've kept those things in mind, but you, with all the different things you had, because I think I helped you out then on probably about 4 more.
I think so.
Yeah, and I know it was 3 at least, and but that gave me such a great process to work off of.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and of course you would have your own little magic bits that you would do and so forth, one of which I still use, the instant MC. And
that's a keeper.
Yeah.
And you had asked me when we met, you wanted me to be your mentor, but
Yeah.
in reality, I turned out to be your tormentor. And then you...
Well, yes, especially when you asked for Ralph and I to drive around Las Vegas looking for LaCroix water.
That's right, LaCroix. Can was delicious. Oh, we could do a commercial for them.
We could.
Yeah.
It's so good. You drive all over Las Vegas.
But David, you're a bright spot in my life. And I was so happy when you showed up at our speakers conference where you expanded your knowledge in the field. There's so many entertainers that have gone into public speaking. There's so many entertainers that have gone into being a Santa or a Christmas character because they're qualified to be there. And the knowledge of interaction with children and adults and contracts, agreements, and travel, it really is the perfect world for them to go into. And when I was a kindergarten teacher, the principal had asked me to travel to other schools to do programs for teachers on how to bring magic into learning, how to have more fun in the classroom. And that really took off. And after 4 years of teaching, my part-time income had exceeded my full-time income. So I thought, well, it's time to make a jump.
Yeah.
And it's been a great journey for me. I've been fortunate to speak in all 50 states. And I thought Alaska and Hawaii would be very challenging. But Alaska was very easy. And Hawaii, I think I've been there on 5 occasions doing work. So it's just a delight to go there. And traveling across the United States, gaining an appreciation. Now, sometimes I'm in and out. When I worked in the Dakotas, I flew in very late at night. Early morning, we're flying out at 5:30 or 6. I've never seen Mount Rushmore. The plane was tiny, but I said to the pilot, would you mind just flying over there, tipping your wing so I could take a peek?
And did he oblige?
I think so.
Okay.
I saw a glimpse of it.
Well, you saw more than a glimpse. When you and I were together out in Rapid City, you were speaking, as we're speaking about speaking. You were speaking for a fair convention.
That's right. That's right. IAPA, maybe. No, not IAPA. It was
the mountain
state fair convention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were out there together and watched you work, not just the speaking as a keynote speaker, but also a workshop that you put on.
On team building.
Yeah.
Team building.
On team building. And so I got a lot of great stuff out of that. And just knowing, even if I don't necessarily do something like that, I have the knowledge on how it's done. And it helped out because last year then I did a voice class for the Premier Playhouse, our local community playhouse for theater, and had a great response to it. And I kind of knew where to mark everything. Okay, we got to go from point A to point B, not from A to Z in one swift move. And really enjoyed doing it for one thing.
Right.
Yeah, and got some great response, some great things that made it more palatable for me to go, you know what, I could do this more often if I wanted, couldn't I? So to throw things out like that. But, you know.
Well, Dave, you mentioned my secretary, Karen Richards. What a wonderful person she is. It was nice because sometimes I'd be on the road as much as 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have someone answer the phone and write the agreements and get the deposits, etc. But I was at a sales conference. I don't recall what it was about. I was speaking there, but I walked by in a hallway and I heard a salesperson mention a sales technique that I wanted to share just with you, only between you and I. And he used the term, how can I help you with your decision? So I called Karen and I said, jot this down. I want you to use that when they ask for the fee schedule, give them the fee schedule. And if they don't say anything, then you say, how can I help you with your decision? Well, it was just a couple of days later, Northwest Dental Association in Kansas called the office. And Karen said the amount of the fee. And it was a one-day workshop. And he paused for a moment. He didn't say anything. And so she said, how can I help you with your decision? That term, I think, is good. It's like a car dealer. How can I help you from going down to Dave Holly Chevrolet? You're willing to dance. You're not offering a discount, but you're opening that door to maybe offering more to do. If I get hired for a keynote and they sort of flinch at the price, the investment, I might say, and what I'll do is I'll be glad to offer 1 to 2 free workshops on team building with humor or stress reduction with humor, what have you. Well, they really like that. Now, if they gladly accept the fee, then you can say, and for an additional $900, I can do a side workshop for you. So there's ways, but that's called the flinch method from Michael Amar But please use that technique of saying, how can I help you with your decision? And then don't speak after that.
Right.
And sometimes they'll say, you could do it for free.
Yeah.
And we say, we don't believe in free speech. So you just have some fun that way. But that technique, I'm convinced, will make folks a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
What got you interested in being an entertainer?
Oh, boy. Yes. I was in the Navy. Went to boot camp in San Diego. I was stationed in Chicago, and I went to a Magic Inc., I think it was called, in Chicago. And I swore that egg went underneath that guy's arm when I did the egg bag. I knew that's where the egg was. So $5 later, I had an egg bag trip, and I was hooked. And so I was in Chicago a while, and I would go back and buy more and more tricks. And then I found a routine called Charles Out of My Hat. It was actually an adult trick, not risque, but just made for adults, where a rabbit would pull out a predicted card. And it was a taxidermied rabbit at the time. And I started to use that at my daycares, libraries, birthdays, and I thought, well, maybe I could get some made. So I bought the felt hats, and I had a sewing person make these puppets out of fur. And that's when it all took off. And then I was auctioned off at a church function, and the woman for a birthday party, and she said, I want a clown. So then I had to go down to the Salvation Army, just like everybody else did that doesn't want to admit it, and bought all sort of awesome garish clothes and learned how to do makeup myself, and kind of evolved. And now with the climate of clowns, everybody has reduce themselves to wearing just a red nose.
Yeah.
Not even going as a clown at all, going as a magician or a storyteller or a puppeteer. So people evolve with the current climate.
Yeah.
And I've loved entertaining. I used to take my children with me on my library circuits, and we'd be gone for, a month at a time, just touring and doing library shows. And it's been a great journey for me.
Salty, correct? Your
That's
clown
right.
name?
I was in the Navy at the time, in the reserves, and I had a Dixie cup, it's called, a white hat, and I ironed on the letter Salty, the sailor clown, Salty. And I was performing at a Jewish tabernacle, and there was one child that was in the audience that didn't have a yarmulke. So I took my hat off, I took my scissors, I cut the top of the hat off, and I put it on his head. He had a yarmulke, and then I pulled my wig hair through the top of the Dixie cup, and I thought that would be fun to have hair sticking out of the top of your hat. So Salty the Clown.
All right.
Yep.
What about the public speaking? At what point did you realize this is something I can do?
Well, as I said, I was doing workshops for teachers, and then local events transpired, like Cafeteria Managers Association. That was a local thing, and I got invited to the national. And other events were local. I actually did a program for the FBI. And I showed up, I had a briefcase handcuffed to my wrist, and the handcuff was underneath the jacket. I met FBI agent Joe O'Brien, walked up, extended my right hand, dropped the briefcase. He looked down, didn't flinch, didn't smile, nothing. But later, they're not allowed to endorse you.
Right.
But after the show, I got a photograph between two agents, and I was wearing my handcuffs and a beagle puss nose. And then I created a flyer with that picture of me with the agents and me in the middle that read, "What national speaker is wanted by the FBI?" That was fun. So I did a series of funeral homes. I don't know why they hired me. Police departments, a lot of healthcare. I've done a lot of healthcare. And I would start out by doing local programs and then be invited to a national program, and from there started to do states, So that's why I was on the road quite a bit.
All right. What was the first entertainers workshop that you put on that was, a multi-day?
Let's see. Oh my goodness. It was probably, we've had so many. We were doing 8 or 9 a year. And Los Angeles, Las Vegas, the Twin Cities, Florida, Missouri. We just, in my speaking travels, I would see a place and say, hey, let me see if I can bring a conference.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great because people met at those conferences. Some people got married. Some people got divorced. All kinds of things happened there.
What's been the funniest thing that's happened to you while you were entertaining?
The funniest. I evolved into Santa as well. And I was performing as a Santa. And I had a little boy approach me. This is in Virginia Beach. I asked him what he wanted. And he lowered his voice and he said, "All I want is a peace on earth and a Death Star logo set." Oh my gosh. One kid saw my wife pull up to pick me up at a venue, and before she arrived, he said, "Santa, where's your sleigh?" I said, "Well, it hasn't snowed yet." And just then my wife pulled up. He said, "Hey, Santa's got an Uber. Santa's got an Uber." It's been a real delight bringing happiness to people.
Yeah. One of the things I always do as Santa when I get hired, especially if it's to someone's house, is I will park around the block so that they can't see me. All they see when I leave then is, Santa's walking away. Well,
right.
And I usually say, they'll ask, "Well, where are the reindeer?" Mm-hmm. And I say, we always fly into the zoo. Because then the zookeepers will look out for them, and they'll give them food, have the carrots and the hay and everything else they need. So I always have that set up beforehand. So then, if somebody does see me getting into a car, then I can also say that Santa was just walking along, and somebody thought, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had Santa in the car?" Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dave, I want to share a story with you and your audience members. 1975, I arrived in Norfolk, Virginia as a 19-year-old sailor. And before I came in the Navy, I worked for Ben Franklin, Scott's 5 and 10. And I had purchased a $12 Santa suit, complete with wig and spats for the shoes. And it was Christmas Eve, and I had duty Christmas Day on my ship. So I thought, well, I'll just go down the ER and pass out candy canes. Of course, you couldn't do that now. Mm-mm. So I showed up. I was passing out candy canes, and there was an elderly fellow there. Asked me who I was, and I said, "Well, I'm Santa Claus." And he said, "Can we go have a cup of coffee at the, waiting? My aunt is here, and it'll be a while. She's got x-rays and everything." So we went and had coffee, and he talked to me more. I told him who I was, and he excused himself and came back. He said, "Stephen," he said, would you go home with me, follow me to my home so you can have Christmas?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I followed him home, and his family greeted me very warmly, and they had a present underneath the tree.
Wow.
For Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And we became very close, and all the holidays, he would pick me up at the ship and take me to his home or out to dinner or whatever. And when I left for overseas, he'd be there. I came back from overseas 6 months. There he was on the pier. He was retired Navy, so he was able to find out about the ship's movements. And I started to attend his church. And so when it came time to finish up my Navy time, I stayed because of that man and his family. And I would bring my girlfriends over to the house. And his wife, Eva Mae, would take me back in the kitchen. She said, now, Stephen, this one is too simple. She's not very bright. She's not for you. Next one, Stephen, this one has a 1-year baby. She's looking for a husband. She's not for you. And when I brought my wife, Alice, there, she said, that's the one for you.
Oh, wow.
So you see, Dave, I'm here with you recording this podcast because of a $12 Santa suit.
Yeah.
My whole life changed. My course changed because I went to that ER and passed out candy canes. That's the magic
That's
of
for
Santa.
sure. Yeah. And it is just so great to hear that. And it's also, you know, something always happens to somebody. It's like, you know, well, what did happen that you're here today? And then the other thing I always like to ask people, I said, you know, because they'll talk about, oh, I regret that I didn't do this or didn't do that or that I did this. I said, tell me, are you happy in your life at this very moment?
That's right. That's right.
Well, yeah. Love life.
Yeah.
Forget that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
You never know.
So there'll be something. There's going to be bad stuff happening, and you will not like it when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But then suddenly, a year or two later, you're in a much better spot than you had been.
That's right.
And it's like, oh,
yeah.
Thank God it happened. Yeah.
Well, when I was active duty Navy, I enrolled in EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal, and went through a series of schools and was not successful. But had I been successful, they assured me I would have had 2 Mediterranean cruises back to back, 6 months each. So I had already met my gal, but I'm not sure if she would have been to my gal for 12 months, waiting for me to finish. So it was a big, giant plan in play.
Well, in fact, she turned you down twice, didn't she?
Oh, my goodness. I met this woman at the supply depot, and I just got stationed on my first ship. And I said, hey, I just moved here. You have any girls I can date? Well, I have a woman from New York. She's coming down, and she's going to school at ODU, and she's going to be my roommate. So I said, well, how's this work? She said, well, here's my address. You come over, and I'll introduce you. I said, well, you know what? You probably ought to ask first. Maybe you should ask. So the next week I came back. What did she say? No. I said, no. She didn't want to meet me. No. What do we do now? You come over to my house like I said. So I went over, and there she was. And I asked her out, and she said, no. So I whispered to the woman, what do I do? Keep coming back. Wear her down, wear her down. So I kept coming back. And finally, she said yes. And I just fell head over heels. I was smitten. And I thought, I'll ask her to marry me in 6 months. And it was 3 months. And the summer flew by. And so I proposed to her, I think, in October. And she said no. So I said, okay, so you didn't want to meet me. You didn't want to go out with me. You don't want to marry me. I'm the last Kissell left. So when you come to your senses, you'll need to ask me. So some months later, she asked me, and we had a long engagement. And we're coming up on year 48
for
our anniversary. So I tell young sailors of today, never take no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a certain school, and you ask for it, and you keep going after it until they give it to you. And so I'm sure I'd be arrested for stalking now, but we didn't have cell phones, so or email, things of that sort. But I've been very blessed with a beautiful wife and 2 young daughters, all because I didn't take no for an answer.
Good for you.
Yeah.
3rd time's a charm on that one.
Yeah.
What do you tell young people that want to become entertainers? What advice do you have?
Let's see. I advise them to go to conventions because you can shorten your learning curve. You can watch entertainers, you can watch them on YouTube, Facebook, what have you. But if you go to conventions, you'll be with them. And you'll meet vendors who will sell you different props and routines, and you'll practice your craft, whether it be close-up magic, stage magic, skits, makeup. You can practice all these things in a short amount of time and really ascend to become more of a competent entertainer in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah. We have come to the end of our conversation, which I normally ask a first-time guest a couple of questions, but I want to advance to the latest question that I'm asking people. What will be the title of your autobiography?
What would be the title of my autobiography? Well, maybe I did what I could. Let's see. Well, David, you got me, caught me by surprise here. I've always considered myself a servant. I'm here to serve people. I'm here to teach. I'm here to mentor. That's my lot in life. That's what I would do. And I heard a pastor the other day, he opened up a workshop that I was at, and he mentioned 1 Samuel 3:10, where he says, I am your servant and I'm listening. I think that would be the title of the book. I'm your servant and I'm listening.
I love it. All right. Love you too, buddy.
Thank you, man.
And thanks for, I usually say, hey, thanks for taking the time to be on the show, but you took a little bit more than the time. 4 days. All right, buddy. Thank you so much. And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Trio Jazz Club is an intimate music venue in the heart of Sioux Falls. It's family-owned and family-run. Ricardo and Mary Beth and the entire staff provide the art of hospitality, while the best local and regional musicians provide the smooth sounds. It's a great vibe with live music Tuesday through Saturday nights. The chefs and mixologists offer an amazing menu and beer and wine lists. Cocktails as smooth as the jazz. Join the club, Trio Jazz Club, across from the Washington Pavilion. Enter as friends, leave as family.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony don't simply provide the service, they provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or you're looking for an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails on Minnesota Avenue. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463. Walk-ins welcome.
Arts and entertainment lovers, you hit the mark. It's the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everybody. I tell you, it's always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire, art and entertainment. Love the conversations. This young man has been on a few times. Now he really earned points coming into the Dipsy Doodle production studio today. We're recording on Tuesday. That would be Taco Tuesday. And he we arranged it the night before, and he came through. Tacos, potato olays, nacho cheese, sour cream. Devin, how are you?
Doing good.
Yes, you should be. You went soft shell, though.
I do soft shell.
Yeah, but I when it comes to taco, see, normally I like soft shells and so forth, but it's just this tradition part for me when it comes to Taco Tuesday, because they didn't do soft shells at a very reasonable price. But when I was growing up, age 16 and so forth, and going to Taco John's, it's like, man, tacos on Tuesday, 29 cents each.
And for me,
3 for $1, you know?
Yeah, for me, it was like if the bottoms get too sogged out and they just kind of go, and then it goes everywhere.
Yeah, you have to worry about that. That is for sure. But it's always a fun time when, have such good people to have on this show that are friends and that we really like being around and so forth. And so it was so thoughtful of you to do that today. I really appreciate it.
Even after I got 5th place in trivia last night.
Well, see, and this is what happened. This is why Devin happens to be on, because last night hosting trivia, I was promoting the show coming up, and my friend from Virginia Beach that you just heard, Steve Kissell, I said, if you are on episode number 326, stand up. And you stand up.
I misheard.
It's like, no, Devin, if you're on this episode.
And that's why I was like, wait. Because I think both Mike and I were starting to be like, wait, no.
So then afterwards, like, what are you doing Tuesday? I have room for one more guest. And we put it together.
Here we are.
We don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but here we are.
It'll be fun.
Yes, it will. It always seems to be, because you're a fun person. The initial time that we had you on, we were just talking about how you do with theater, etc. And then the other times it's been because you've probably been in to promote a particular show, and usually with somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so now, because at the end of that first time we chatted, you said, oh, I forgot to talk about being drag. And that you also, with that, were not just a good award. You got South Dakota Entertainer of the Year one time, correct?
I did in 2022. South Dakota Pride Ultimate Entertainer 2022.
Ultimate Entertainer. Yeah, that's cool. You have it on a mantle?
Well, I got a crown.
Okay, a crown.
We got a crown. We got some jewels. We got a crown.
What got you started in that then?
That was about early teens. I started in 2013.
Okay.
And I, before that, had gone to a couple of prides. This is just recently after I came out to my parents. Mm-hmm. And so they were still kind of getting over that. But they're like, okay, it's fine if you're going to go to Pride, but don't do drag because it could ruin your professional career. I was like, okay. So we're at Pride, and then I'm seeing all the entertainers, and I'm like, I could do this.
Yeah.
And get money. And I sing, so I could possibly even get more money.
Yeah.
And that's how Devondra came to be.
Oh, so I didn't know that we had a particular name, Devondra.
Yes, Devondra Shakers.
Oh, I like it.
Of the Shakers clan. There's over 100 of us.
Love it.
We think. We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to be Songbird was my last name. And then Martina Shakers was like, we got room in our family if you would like to join us. And I was like, okay. So then I got adapted.
All right. And so, obviously, we are allies and we accept everybody. And, telling some people that, they kind of go, oh, really? It's like, come on. All of these people, they're just like us. Mm-hmm. They have hearts, they have souls, they have minds. And then I said, and, quite honestly, I kind of prefer hanging with those people. No judgment about things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and I didn't mean to say those people. It sounds, but, because everybody else is classifying it. It's like, no. They're friends. That's what they are. And so I have loved becoming your friend. And, you support me as well. You come out to trivia.
Indeed.
Yeah. And anytime I see that you're going to be in something, I make sure I get my ass there. So what's the past year? You've been in a few things.
Couple.
Yeah. And so let's recap those then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what we all did. I think first was the American Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first one for the season with Premier Playhouse.
Right.
And then rolled right into, I had a little bit of a break. Then that's when we did Not Now, Darling with the community theater, not community theater, the dinner theater. There we go. Yeah.
OTDT.
Yep. Old Town. And then, was there something else I was doing that was going to roll right into it? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Hairspray. LOL.
Yeah. Very much so.
Hairspray was literally right after. So we were doing rehearsals. We mostly got done and we're kind of like in the more full show runs. And then Hairspray was just kind of kick-starting rehearsals. But yeah, by the time we were doing... we've in the tech week, that's when Hairspray was almost getting ready to start going into their tech week. So it was a bunch of balancing act.
Yeah, back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you did such a wonderful job in Hairspray.
Thank you. Such a fun show.
Yeah. So tell us about, you were telling me, I don't know if you want to tell the story, but, you had told me about what is the big thing that you have to come out of. And you had to do a costume change basically in there, didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did that backstage. I just had to climb that ladder and just wait. When they rolled that can on, I was on that can. Yeah. And I did not get to leave or I couldn't get out of it or do anything. So I'm just there until that moment and now, boop, popped out.
What was your favorite part of playing that role?
Oh, it's so much fun because there's so many fun lines that she has. There was one that we unfortunately had to get edited and that they already had pre-approved from the licensing company that this is the new line. It was like, okay. Because I think if it's if you want to learn a skill, learn how to get blood out of car upholstery. That you can take to the bank. But they got rid of that little line. So I was like, darn it. Oh, so funny. But yeah, she's just a good mom.
Yeah.
And cares.
Exactly. And what made you initially get into theater?
Ooh, I think it's just at an early young age, I was just always wanting to be like an entertainer. Mm-hmm. I was always putting on shows in the living room for parents,
you go,
babysitters, whoever.
Oh yeah, I tell you, that is such a great thing, especially. And then if you become a babysitter and you have entertainment skills, that's what ended up getting me. I mean, I still see her about once a year, but my babysitter actually wasn't me being a baby. I was, headed toward teenage years, too old to have the 80-year-old woman down the street watch you. Not yet to the point where mom and dad would trust you being alone. Mm-hmm. And so she's just 7 years older, I believe. And she was highly talented, great musician, incredible singer, and funny as could be. So I'm going to date myself, but our family had just gotten a cassette recorder.
Oh, yes.
Yes, with the thin little mic and so forth that you plugged in.
Oh, yeah.
Push the two buttons down and you can see the tapes rolling and everything. And all of a sudden, she starts doing this Llewellyn the Snot character. And out of the blue. I can't even remember what prompted it. And then it's a hurricane. And then she says, oh, so let's go to our reporter, Dave. Dave, what are the conditions like? And by this time, I'm damn near peeing my pants with laughter. It's so funny. And I always think of that, you know, when I started to realize what improv was, it's like, I just remembered that, and I keep that in mind. And it's just a fun way to have a good remembrance of somebody and to talk about it from time to time and to just realize what skills she had. You know, she was in high school at this time. I think I was middle school. Well, junior high is what I was. And to see her then when she would perform elsewhere, and then she was in a lot of bands that were regional touring bands. And, you know, if I was in college and saw they were playing in that college town, had to be there then. And amazing stuff. And I always think of what it takes. First of all, I'm guessing you, because we both have this in common, putting on shows and so forth. Mine was, my first one that I did was I put on a Christmas show at home in the basement. It was unfinished basement. And Dad had from his office, he had this cardboard looking fireplace. I came out of that and I have on red long pajamas.
Adorable.
And actually Elmer glued cotton balls to my face.
Well, there we go. You were being crafty.
What? Yes. What more do we need?
That's it. We had Santa right there.
And I still Santa. That's the great part about it. So, you know, Hairspray, like I said, you did a phenomenal job. What's up next for you?
Well, let's see. Currently, right now, I will be, as of right now, the musical director for Trail to Oregon with the Dinner Theater next year.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting.
Yes, it will.
And then besides that, the world's my oyster for other shows.
What is your approach to auditioning? Do you have anything mentally that you say, don't forget this, and so forth, or do you just go in and you let it fly?
I'm one of those. As long as I've got if I'm singing something that I'm comfortable with, or we barely do like monologues anymore. It's more like, depending on the theater, some just do cold reads from the script. So if you're already comfortable with the script ahead of time, makes that a lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're singing a song that you've got right out the back of your hand, you're like, I got this. Then you just go and you let them have it.
Yeah. You ever been turned down for a role that you really, really wanted?
There've been a couple of times.
No angst about it.
Yeah, I'm better. But that's the way it goes.
That is the way it goes.
Yeah. That was like one of those roles was Angel for Rent with the back when it was Sioux Empire Community Theater. Sect. But I then became the makeup person that did Angel's makeup for each performance. And one show in particular, it was a double show. They had the brilliant idea of doing photo call in between the performances.
Oh.
They also didn't want to do photo call, or like do the show backwards, because that would have made it a little easier makeup wise. No. We had to start from the beginning and then go all the way through again. So I had to do Angel's makeup 3 separate times that day.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, and then, we were just getting wrapped up with photos and they were like, all right, well, we got 20 till places. And I'm like, oh, no. You're going to be at places when I say Angel's ready to be at places.
What's a role that you haven't played yet that you will jump on if you get the chance?
Ooh, let me think. There is one I would like to do. It'd be more of a dramatic-ish type, not like heavy. Well, there's a couple in the comedic roles. One being Frank Bialystok.
Oh yeah,
and producers.
Yeah,
it'd be so much fun. The other one I would like to do on a more serious note would be Leo Frank from Parade.
Right.
Beautiful music.
Yeah.
Oh my God, beautiful music. Yeah. Those are a couple. Think of some other shows. That
okay, just not
those are at least a couple on there.
Okay, not necessarily a role then, but just a show that you'd like to be in, other than those two.
Let's see.
And I can imagine you as Bialystok.
That'd be so much fun. Yeah, that we USD had that in the lineup before I transferred to Mankato, and then they changed it, and I was like, oh. Let's see. I've done it 3 times. I'll do it again. If ever a chance for doing Putnam comes up, I'm there. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Excellent. And what about just, future endeavors? Beyond what you already are hoping to do. I mean, do you have a big dream that you want to get out? And this is what I'd really love to do for theater.
Yeah. I would really love to have a company. And what we would, I've been in talks with some of my friends.
Okay.
It's still in the works. We haven't officially done anything with it yet, but yeah, we would like to be a touring professional company, and like to do more of the edgier kind of musicals and plays and things of that nature, where it's like, did you do your homework before you came to see the show? If not, well, thank you for your donation. Or we'll be like, this is your last chance to redeem a refund, because once the show starts, there's no going back for that.
Your education then in college, USD, Mankato, what did you end up graduating with for a degree?
Bachelor of Fine Arts, musical theater.
Yeah. Ever thought of doing the master's?
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do the extra paperwork.
Oh.
I hate writing papers.
Oh.
And when 10-page, 20-page papers are the norm, I struggle with even just getting like a good solid 5-6 pages out.
I know what I did too. All you got to do is term paper. A what?
Yeah, I know it. The dance professor at USD, she had required for the class, any of the dance classes, if you were in one class, it was a 5-page paper for your for the whole semester, like all of your experiences, where it'd be like, oh yeah, when I was this day, I just really felt that I could feel in my kinesthesia and my muscles, and that was really engaged, but it was that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, But then if you were in 2 of her classes, then it could have been an 8-page paper. And then if you were in 3 of the classes, then it was like a 12-page paper about the 3 classes. And if you didn't turn in the paper, you just dropped a grade. I'm like, I'll just take the B. Why do you need this information? And then, would then transfer to Mankato. And that dance professor, he just like, okay, you're going to come in. I'm going to ask you to just do these different steps. Great. You're done.
Wow.
That was it. You just had to show up. I'm like, oh, it's a dance class.
I passed. I passed flying colors.
Yeah, he's just like, you just have to show up.
Oh, sweet. I remember a few of those. But occasionally I do dream that I never went to a class in that particular semester.
Yeah. Or like I've had to this day, I've been on things where it's like, oh, I'm in this show. I don't know what I'm doing.
I have a similar one too.
Or like you got to perform. You got some sort of performance in a class coming up. You're like, I'm not prepared.
Oh man, it's always fun to talk with you, Devin. And we've gone through some of the usual questions with you. As to if you're not involved in the arts, what do you like to be entertained by? But I don't think I've gotten the opportunity to ask you. My favorite one lately is this.
Ooh.
So, Devin Basart, what will be the name of your autobiography? What will be the title?
Ooh, let's see. I'm trying to think. What would it be? I do like it's a classic line. All the world's a stage. Some of us have better seats.
Ah, there we go. I love it. All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you taking some time.
Yeah.
4th of July, just a few days away. Any particular traditions?
Not usually. Well, we usually went to family friend's place back in the day. They just kind of lived outside of Harrisburg. It's kind of between Harrisburg and Sioux Falls. We used to go to their place all the time. They had sand volleyball. We'd play kickball. We'd do bocce ball. I would do a show.
Of course. Had to be.
I did a show. And then, they went off to, and then eventually, once I was old enough, then I went with the group to go get the fireworks at Black Cat in T and drove back. One year in particular, there was a set of fireworks that didn't want to work in their tubes for the mortars. Oh. So they just kind of went funk and didn't go so high and started coming back down before. We're like, run! Yeah. And then you just saw us all scatter. And what did I go and try and hide behind? A gas tank, a propane tank. Of course I did, because I was brilliant as a child.
I love it. My father absolutely loved the 4th of July. And one year we were going to Lake Okoboji because our neighbors, they had a family cottage back when there used to be cottages instead of multi-million-dollar homes there. And so we went there, and before we did, we had to come across the state lines here from Iowa to South Dakota and buy a big package. And, back then it was like $50.
And now?
And it's like, wow, cool, Dad spending a lot of money on this, isn't he? So then we get there, and in the afternoon, we decided, do the snakes and do the smoke bombs.
Oh, yep, all the easy
stuff like that. And so we used punks to light them. Well, dumbass here had the stick part of the punk in his mouth, being really cool, And I look over the box, and it's like, what should we do next? An ash from the punk fell down and kaboom. So then we had nothing to do at night. No, he was pissed off at me. But it's a fond memory, and I know that he's up in heaven, and when the 4th of July comes around, I get this little reminder from Dad. And anytime I see fireworks, at a public display and so forth, it's like, you're laughing again, aren't you? All right. Thanks again for taking the time, Devin. You have yourself a great holiday, and continue to break legs on stage and continue to do what you do. It is so refreshing to have somebody like you in the arts community.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Thank you. All right. We'll be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Looking for a laid-back spot with great music and even better company? Make Phil's Pub your next stop. Every Thursday, try your luck at Trap the Queen of Spades, where the jackpot keeps growing and every game helps support community cats. On July 24th, the 1270s make their Phil's debut, bringing all of your favorite rock and roll hits from the 50s, 60s, and 70s for a night of classic tunes and good times. Then, coming up later in the year, in September, in fact, catch Matt D on the 11th with Hard Luck Americana and Bad Man Ballads. No cover charge, and don't miss Colin Donnelly on the 18th, delivering his signature blend of gritty outlaw country and rock-inspired storytelling. Grab a slice, bring your friends, and make yourself at home at Phil's Pub. See more on Phil's Facebook page.
Never met a meal you didn't like. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Thanks again to my wonderful guests, Steve Kissell and Devin Basart. As we wrap up episode 326, let's give a weekend eve toast to the Declaration of Independence. Enjoy your freedoms, party like John Adams predicted, but please be safe. The show website is davehollyhour.com. Check out the updated look. Additionally, you can listen to any episode anytime you want. The show is also available on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you all for supporting local arts and for taking the time to download so many episodes. I encourage you to find your art, find the art you enjoy, find the art you're maybe interested in trying, and we shall see you in the arts. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Art South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub, your local dive with music for the people. Chaser's Food and Spirits, XL Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. Stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. All episodes available anytime at davehollyhour.com. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.